So, welcome everybody to Gab's Dojo once again. Um, this is the penultimate lesson for the dojo, but in terms of like my planned syllabus, this is actually the final lesson. Um, I say penultimate because there is a bonus one that I'm gonna do following this stream. Just because I wasn't going to cover that topic, but I figured it's something just to add on because it's worthwhile. So it's been a journey, longer than intended, since when I first started doing this. Things within and outside of my control basically caused delays and everything, but we're finally here. And first thing I want to say is to thank you all for those who stuck by through all the inconsistency. Those who provided further support and help throughout this whole process. Those people know who they are, so much thanks to them. And I hope overall throughout all these lessons you know, learn something worthwhile, and hopefully improve. All my lessons, of course, are on YouTube if you do need a refresher. Despite the patches that's happened in this game, I think most of them are still applicable, at least in concept, and I believe a good number of them can be applied to other fighting games as well. So, yeah, thank you all, and appreciate you being here. If a back two gets buffed, I'm gonna die. Oh dear. I'm talking about buffs now. Teacher Nate is bullying me. You can't beat him up in class. Gonna have to wait until afterwards. Right, so, past few weeks we have looked at the mental side of things. So things like pattern recognition, composure, and probability. So this being the last lesson of that level 3 block that I mentioned some weeks back. This essentially is talking about how to review your matches. The reason why this is last, because you kind of need an understanding of almost everything that I've taught from lesson 1 till now in order to utilize reviewing matches properly. So before we get into it, just gonna have a brief discussion. To you guys, do you think reviewing matches is important? And if so, why? Or do you think they are pointless? And if so, why? Yeah, just give me your thoughts on the idea of reviewing matches and are they worthwhile or not?
Fight.
Let's do tag team. Oh dear. Since why I was using the teachers as an example of how to improve typos. So Antonio says yes, matches are worth rewatching. Any reason why? For you personally? To be able to improve your gameplay. Quinn, for me they are. I get to see what I did wrong, or if I'm stuck in a pattern that is not beneficial for me, and when I'm between rounds I can't review that well because I'm high on adrenaline. It's a good point. In the throes of combat it's not easy. They're pointless to me personally because each game is a new and I'll keep repeating my same mistakes nonetheless. Wow. I appreciate the honesty though, if that's how you feel. Yeah, but I'll leave it a couple more minutes in case anyone else has got other things to throw in. If not, then I'll ask the next question.
Fight.
And Kota's going to be so OP in Ultimate. gonna keep teabagging you, mate. Wow. So, for those who answered, let me ask the question: do you actually review your matches um, for the reasons that you say, or do you not? Just curious to know whether people do or they don't. Honestly, I reviewed my matches versus matchups I didn't know too well, but I only did this when I try-harded for uh, God rank. Okay, when Katana Sai was up
Fight.
there. One more reason not to replay matches, I don't want to suffer seeing Camilla teabagging me for 30 minutes straight. Does it really teabag you for that long? Because if so, in some ways that's kind of impressive to maintain that for that long. You know, takes a lot of discipline to do that. Okay. So Quinn, from your answer, I take it that you, I guess, only really do it on occasion. It's not something that you consistently do or regularly do. Which is fine, there's no right or wrong answer here. This sensei just say teabagging for long is impressive. I insinuated. Anyone committed to Combat League. Okay. Oh, that's something. Anyway.
Fight.
Okay, interesting to get your views. Right, so this lesson, I am basically just going to show you um, how to review your matches, and then we can just watch a few of my scrubby play, and then we can just have a discussion on the things that I did and what things to look out for. So, cracking on with the lesson. Firstly, you need to record your matches, otherwise how are you going to review them? Now for me, the best method I say is utilizing the consoles like Capture Gallery. I'm sure Xbox has a version, but I can't remember how to do it. But on PS4, if you go to like menu, settings, sharing and broadcast, and then length of video clip, you can set a video clip from about as short as 30 seconds to last for about an hour. And then when you play, it records your screen. And then when you want to save the video, you just press the share button and then it will save into your capture gallery. And the reason why I say it's the best is because when it's there, you can go to the video and you can trim it, edit it, you can upload it straight to YouTube, or you can copy it onto USB and then watch it on your PC. Main reason being because it will allow you to, like, you know, pause, slow down, rewind, fast forward things. Whereas trying to review a match in game is not as easy. It's a bit more annoying to do so. So I would definitely recommend that method. Of course, if you streamed and you've got videos on demand, you know, your video archive to use. In terms of this game though, in case you didn't know how to record matches, you simply just press the options and go here. That's basically it. Nothing difficult. And then what that does is that goes to your combat card, because that's where you'll find all your matches. So you go to combat card, tag across to career stats, which shows you my statistics. And Jackie with a win ratio 62.8% is not good enough for my liking, but is what it is. I'm not sure if you can guys see or notice that the amount of mercies that I've given in this game so far shows that I'm true to the mantra. No mercies for nobody. Anyways, um, once you go there, you scroll down to match replays, and then this shows you all the matches that has been saved, whether it's Combat League, whether it's casual matches, King of the Hills, etc. They all go here. I think it saves about 15, something like 10 to 15 before they start disappearing. And then you can choose a replay and like favorite them if you want to keep them for future. However, please be aware that if you do favorite to replay, when the game updates due to a new patch or an update, that replay won't work with the new version of the game, so it will just be dead. So, only Scorpion is sub poor cat. I only literally just played a few matches in order just to get this going, so yeah, like 3 Combat League sets. So, when you want to watch a match, you just select a match and just go to watch replay. And then it will give you some options that you can mess around with while a match is on. Right. Obviously that yellow line is in the way, which is annoying. But you can see some options at the bottom. Fast forward, hide damage, show filtered buttons, and show frame data. So when you're in the middle of a match, these options allow you to do certain things. So show frame data, as you can see, just brings up a box and displays all the frames of every single move that happens. Good for recognizing strings that you're not familiar with and you want to know what the frames are after a certain situation. But if you don't want it, press the same button to take it off. Filtered buttons is exactly the same. Just shows your inputs in case you made a misinput. Or got very greedy there. And then that showcases basically your inputs in case you made a misinput, in case something went wrong, or what your character was doing. I usually always have them showed. Damage, self-explanatory. You see the numbers appear or the numbers disappear. And then when the rounds end, I'll show you the speeds. So we've got fast forward times 2, fast forward times 4, and then pause. That was very quick, I know. Now I don't really use fast forwards in case I'm like want to speed through a match to get to something that maybe happened in a later round. That's basically the only reason you use it for. You don't need it for anything else. Unless you want to do some comedic videos, I don't know. When it's paused, you can move frame by frame, like so. And you might only want to use this for very specific situations where a hitbox and a hurtbox don't collide, or you saw something really weird and you wanted to slow it down and see what exactly happened and analyze that. And then similar thing when you've got slow motion. Obviously place the match in slow motion for you to properly watch things and then analyze. So, with those options now explained, let's watch a Combat League set I had with this guy and or girl. And yeah, we can discuss what we saw, anything key that we can take away, and some things that I look for when I review matches. Do I play with the analog sticks or the D-pad? D-pad only. Can't use the analog sticks. I do know some people who do use the analog sticks though. So, Let's rewatch and see how I perform against this collector.
Round one, fight!
There's D-pad for inputs and analog sticks for jumping. Oh wow. Oh, you play with analog sticks, Antonio. Okay. You go with whatever you're comfortable with. I got very greedy there. D-pad for you, Quinn. Okay.
Getting up's not your best.
Alright, round one over. Anything worthwhile picking up that you guys think we should notice? Something to consider for future? Jeez, Dogan. But of course, if there's nothing to see, we can just carry on into round two to make comments. The collector should improve his patience. Collector's down two was such a hilarious whiff. Yeah, it wasn't the best. Sent me away from keyboard, so missed most of the match. Not to worry. Going through the whole set, so round two we'll just continue where we are. So,
Round two, fight!
Going down.
failed anti-air there. Failed anti-air there. I forgot that that interruptible existed. Threw that round away. Collects like the spam buttons. It looks like it in the button log. Yeah. He presses a lot of buttons. I guess any other key themes that you notice, I guess from my side, that is worth reviewing, because that's the point of reviewing matches. Gotta look at the good and we've gotta look at the bad. A lot of throws. Notice he didn't adapt. Very good point, Quinn. I do ate a lot of throws in that match. I also generally felt that even though I had a lot of control, that Jackie shouldn't jump into interruptibles. That's sound advice, Nay. Even though I had control of that match, and I know he was pressing a lot of buttons, I was showing him a lot of respect. Wasn't really forcing my will much, and that kind of let him back into the match generally. So that can be one key takeaway that I can take from this round specifically. I would say it's a word of advice generally when you're reviewing matches. some find it easier than others because some people have like a really analytical mind and some don't. I always like to believe that if you can take away three key things from each match, that is a good um, building block to start from. And they shouldn't be all bad or all good. So it can be, one positive, two negative, or two positive, one negative as a minimum. But you should be able to take a few of each side, positive and negative. Um, but being serious now, why jump when you had the life lead and zoning pressure? Because I was an idiot. No. In that match, I played stupidly. Um, Simple as that. There was no reason. What you said actually makes sense, and that is what I should have done. But at that point in time, I didn't do that. Anyway, let's go to final round.
Final round. Fight.
No meter, that's a shame. Now that hit me because I misspaced my forward three. That was a lot closer than it should have been. That way, yeah, simple. There's no reason why Sensei Gab has spoken. Yep, it's true. So, what information can we glean? Let's say that's me reviewing myself, and I just watch this. You're in my position. What would you take away from that match going forward? If we're looking at reviewing matches in order to improve. Interesting to know what your thoughts would be. Should have teabagged. I've never teabagged anybody, and I probably won't ever. So I like to maintain that pristine record. Honestly, try to read grabs a bit better and keep pressure on since Jackie is a machine. Good points, Queen. Very good points. Glad ain't that fast and he's strong in mid-range. And that's the key thing. I can definitely look at that match and say that one of the biggest errors I made is that I showed way too much respect to this guy. I could have just forced my will because Jackie's so much better close up, but I wasn't doing that. I was giving him time to recover, not taking advantage of my momentum as much as I should have, which is why the match ended up being closer. Even though the collector energy jumped and grabbed and used the forward three, block more, I block low a lot. Yeah, I was making a lot of hard reads of trying to duck a throw because he did it once and I figured he would do it again, but he never did it again, so. And also matchup knowledge. I could have interrupted him many times, but he just kept blocking. As I said, it goes back to the whole respect. Showing way too much respect sometimes just lets the opponent get away with so many things. So while you shouldn't mash or anything, but if you know where the gaps are, you obviously can interrupt. But on top of that, while you do have to respect the disrespect, you can't just block forever and always and wait for your opportunity. Sometimes you just need to grab it. Bad thing about the collector is that he doesn't respect Jackie's plus poke frames. The good thing is that he abused your weakness, which was the grabs. Indeed he did. I like playing like that and playing versus people who show respect and want to play around, punishes or reads. The pressure bullshit destroys the game for me. I get that. No teabagging, it says code, just like Batman's no killing code. It's accurate, because I don't do that. The good thing about Jackie is he outsmarted Collector and did good pressure. The bad thing is that he plays Jackie and took unnecessary risks sometimes. Nailed it though. Now the annoying thing about this, which is why I say recording matches via capture gallery is better, is because if I want to watch the next match, I can't do it anyway from here. I actually have to go back to combat card and then go back to career stats and then back to match replays and then find the match again, and yeah, a bit long-winded, which is why it's not always the best to review matches here. Yeah, some of the UIs are redundant. You know what I just realised? Only 2,069 games of Strachey. Considering how long this game has been out, that is not a lot, like at all. Man, I really don't play this game. Scrub for life. Okay. Match 2 against this guy.
Round one, fight.
Buff Jackie Maker 1500 HP. That would be nice. I really should be blocking there, but never mind. Welcome Snoozy Apple, hope you're well. That was cheeky. Okay, so apart from me being a scrub and not blocking after throw techs or blocking any of those death spins, whatever, anything that you can glean on from this opening round? And she ecoed to his head to aftermath to get 1500 HP. I've been working that seems to go hand in hand when you do lessons. Oh, okay. Were you aware what variation you had? I was aware. I was just playing like a scrub. I mean, this. I'm not going to excuse it because I could say, oh, this is the first match I've had in months, and or rust and this and that. But no, I'm not going to be that kind of person. I was making quite a few bad decisions in this set, which is part of one of the reasons why I really wanted to showcase this set for this lesson. I don't know what to pinpoint in this matchup, to be honest. Well, it's only the first round. There's more to come. I already know how this ends, so.
Round two, fight.
I think something caught me off guard and made me lose focus. For the entire match. You know, if I actually knew how to do combos, I actually would be an alright player. All I'm gonna say is an input error happened. I'm not gonna tell you the truth behind it because it's so convoluted, it wouldn't be believed. So I was just gonna say input error, and it cost me badly. Well, input error 1, 2, not being able to do dash punch because I don't know if you guys know, but doing back forward 2 is hella hard in this game. You need the execution of like competitive level players in order to do back forward 2. Because think about it, I gotta press back, then I gotta press forward, and then 2. It's hard, you know. You know, the other players like Katana, Sindels, you know, you noobs. You don't know the struggle of playing Jackie. You don't know the struggle at all. The Scorpion played like a typical online Scorpion I always lose to. I'm very inconsistent with that. Usually I can beat them, but I do have my off days, so. But we are reviewing matches, so while Hanzo stares at us menacingly, um, anything to glean on? We're reviewing matches. If you were me, what would you look into? What we need to do better on? Need to hit Families one dose low into plus flames to clip that HP bar. Good momentum at the end. You need to improve in your combos though. As I said, if I actually had good execution, I'd be an alright player. Back when I was a young whippersnapper, in the Injustice 1 days, the MKX days, the execution wasn't a problem. The hardest, toughest combos I can do, no problem. This game, dead. Arthritis in the fingers, maybe. I don't know. In my old age. But yeah, on a serious note, I need to improve execution. That's definitely one key thing in the set. Can't be dropping combos and explosive momentum, because I did have good in the end, but I didn't finish the job, and then he managed to punish me for that. A man she has no darlings. I need to adapt to online Scorpion play. I do. Right. So one apiece. Delete Scorpion. Nah, Hanzo's fine. He's actually not that bad as a character. He has more psychological problems to the opponent than his actual gameplay. It's because a lot of his moves are so triggering about how they work and how people play. That's how people get really annoyed. But in terms of actual character, like compared to the rest of the cast, he's fine. He's good, but he's not like oppressive or anything like that. Best advice against Scorpions, think like this. If I was a cheap crackhead Scorpion with shitty Wi-Fi and toxic cancerous playstyle, what would I do? That's a good point. It was actually 170 ping this match. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse. So, final match. We'll see. I was kind of relieved when Devora killed him in the story. Yo! My poor Hanzo. Can't say that you're relieved that you died. Man. Alright, round 3. Right. Yo, evening JTB, how's it going? Hope you're well. Just going through reviewing matches. I would say the best advice is what would be the dumb thing to do. That's what online scorpion will usually do together 50-50s and jumping. Bait his crap teleport and his spear gets him every time. His best moves are the most punishable. True. Definitely in the set when it came to the third game, I was more realizing that this guy is button heavy and is pressing a lot of buttons. So maybe instead of trying to enforce my will too much, I should just hit him for as much damage as I can when he makes a mistake and then let him try and force his way in. Because especially with Syrian Rage, it doesn't really have true mix-ups, like at all. So there's a lot of things you don't really need to be scared of. Anyway, let's go to round two.
Round two, fight.
Again, can't do dash punch. And not blocking either.
Swing and miss. No sweat.
Finish him.
Was that a sad attempt at a dash punch? That was actually 3 attempts at a dash punch in that round, which I failed at all of them. You learn not to jump interactables, yeah. Back forward too, yeah, exactly. I can do it when a match is over, but in a match for some reason, my hands can't do it. Back forward to you, man. The execution to play Jackie is real. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But on a serious note, even though that was an overwhelming, very convincing victory, there's still things that we can pull from this match. Was there anything that you guys kind of noticed that if I wanted to improve, is there things that I can look into in that set to move forward? Things that I can learn, things I can lab. Let me know your thoughts. I noticed you rolled towards him when you didn't put a command that was risky. I'm gonna come to that um, in a bit. I think he took out Scorpion out of his comfort zone. At the end, you could have given him a bit more space in case he would have rolled out, Drew. He dropped some combos, but that's something you can always lab. Or jumped. True, Snoozy, I made the hard read that he wouldn't. Although I think at that point he might have broke away. I can't remember. I need to check the meter. But okay. General points that we can pick up in this review is set that 1. I need to improve my execution in terms of combos. 2 is also being consistent with momentum. 3, need to learn how to deal with throws and adapt to throws. And 4, obviously block more in more scenarios. So when it comes to reviewing matches, we can go as general as those kind of things. Um, Welcome, Sarang. Hope you're well. I would roll out. I would always do sometimes. It works sometimes, and I end up getting grabbed with broken animation. True. Practice combos. Just need some matches to shake off rustiness. True. I mean, I played a part, but in a sense, reviewing. We can look into, those things as the main options or to look at when going forward. Now, generally, when you go to reviewing your own matches, what I would suggest is when things to look out for. Look at things that went wrong. Look for things that went right, like reads or execution or setups, everything. But also look at things that you got away with, such as Quinn pointing out that roll where Scorpion didn't do anything, which led to the 3-3 crushing blow. But also things that you let your opponent get away with, like with the first match against Collector. He was doing certain things that I could have interrupted or punished, and I wasn't doing anything about it. You can look at your defensive play, which there wasn't much for me in this set. You can look at your offense, but also look into what led you into certain situations. Because usually rounds get decided into one or two key moments that actually happen, and if you identify those moments, they usually cause the big swings in momentum in the terms of what results in an outcome. But even with all those things, when you figure out what you want to work on, they should be almost specific. So if I had said that, in this match I had bad defense, I can't just say that because that's too general. I need to pinpoint what was bad. Was it me crumbling in the corner? Was it something I need to work on dealing with block pressure and stagger pressure? Is it throws? Am I just not teching any throws? Am I not reading throws? You need to be very specific in your reviewing and your feedback to yourself of what went wrong, because that way you are then aware of your weaknesses. Now, whether you do anything about your weaknesses is up to you, but at least being aware of it would be a step in the right direction. So even like with this match, even though it's quite convincing, I could still pull out numerous things that I can review in order to improve myself. Point one, dropped forward 2. Well, forward 2-2. Dropped a Dragon Punch. And even though I mentioned about dropping combos already, and luckily it didn't cost me in this set, it's something that's very important I need to look into. So, do I need to go back into the lab and practice execution, especially on those Dragon Punches? At this point, I can even say, even though I threw him full screen, and I got damage, full screen is where Scorpion would want to be. He'd be more comfortable there. I can ask myself why I didn't back throw in that situation in order to keep him close, where Jackie is stronger and maintain pressure. Now, obviously, in the set, as things went on, my game plan was to let him, hang himself and then punish accordingly. But if this was like a first match, and my game plan is to, stay as close as possible, that could be seen as detrimental to my game plan. So it may be something I need to be aware of. The disrespect of my forward three. That's true. He wasn't respecting like at all. And buttons. What notes of Lossie is when she gets forward throw, she presses free, which leads to escape fail, but then when they throw her backwards, she doesn't take at all. The thing is that when most people see someone coming, most people want to press a quick poke, like down one or down three. Um, so if you're going to do a forward throw, that's always going to hit you. Um, the real tech is to press down too when a person comes towards you. So if they go with a high, that's going to KB them, and if it goes for a throw, most of the time it will be a forward throw, it will tech. Um, but yeah, you just need to be learning your scenarios in terms of where a person's likely going to throw you, which I did cover in a past lesson, actually.
Round two, fight.
That can be a big thing. You should press down to Gab and the throw eats it anyway. Gotta improve your timing a little bit. So this guy whiffed forward three and then threw me because I did nothing about it. Now, whiff punishment is one of the biggest tools that you can have and one of the most important skills to learn, especially being a like competitive player if you go into that level. But just general improvement, knowing how to whiff punish people is huge. So the fact that he whiffed his mid right in front of my face and I did nothing about it is a big deal. It might not seem like a big deal, but it is actually a huge deal. So that's something I would have to really look into. Maybe get myself into scenarios that where I can recognize the whiff normal and then full combo punish him accordingly, instead of letting him get away with it. So now that's something I definitely got away with. Rolling like that and pressing buttons. Really, I shouldn't lose to that. I mean, I should lose. I should have been counter poked or punished, but he didn't react and I got away with it. It's not skill to whiff punish Katana, just jump as she hits you and 3 punish City. It's not that bad. I'd be late with coffee, so it's upset and sleep in the back of the class. Okay. Learn how to do dash punch. Gotta learn to block after teching throws. Even though we're both neutral, he's obviously doing moves and I've been hit numerous times, so I've got to do better than that. Bring candy. 3 punish because she has darlings. I guess don't dial them all in? Maybe. Gav shadow my mashing. Nah, I'm alright, thanks. I don't need to see that. Again, failed dash punch. Really got to improve my execution. Although, that was good. Because he went for a jump attack. I spaced it correctly so that it would miss. And then got a punish with my forward 3. And then into a full combo. So, even though I've been pointing generally negative things, that's actually a positive that I can take as well. Although I've got to learn to finish combos.
Swing and a miss. No sweat.
And there we go. So even though it was a good victory and a pretty convincing victory, there were still numerous things I was able to pull out from this match and then go to training or or take forward into future matches in order to improve my play and improve myself. I think if I looked at Sarang in class, she'll snap a pencil in front of me and mouth your neck, so I'll never look back for the rest of the year. Shady British tea, sipping crumpets, munching rude ghost. Insulting teachers during class is not the best, Sarang. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, with that, that is actually essentially the end of the lesson. So just as a quick review, just showcase how to record matches and the ways you can do it. And when it comes to your matches, obviously watch them. Look into positives and negatives. That's mean what you did right, what you did wrong, the things that you got away with, the things your opponent got away with. You don't have to think about everything, but I would say look out for 2 or 3 things in a match that you can actually look at and then actually work towards improving, whether in more matches or in training mode or things like that. It doesn't have to be this great detailed thing or as detailed as I went as that I just did, but generally if you can review your matches, pick up on those things and then actually work on those weaknesses, you'll become a more well-rounded player, you'll become a better player, and you definitely become harder to beat. So definitely worthwhile reviewing matches, as painful as it can be, because sometimes there's some horrific losses, as we saw in match 2 in this set. But yeah, definitely worthwhile doing. I only saw 1 match. I'm gonna upload the archive on YouTube very soon, Snoozy, so don't worry too much about that. Ban me. Did we graduate? My grade, please. If I'm not an A, I'm gonna sue this school. I have a question about labbing. How long are you supposed to lab? Because I'm much worse than you with dropping my combos gap. Labbing is... It depends how you are. Like if combos are definitely a weak point of yours, my general advice would be to practice a combo and try and do it. If you've got the patience for it, which I do recommend it, try and perform them 10 times in a row on either side, like 10 times on the left and then 10 times on the right. If you do that, that usually gives you the muscle memory needed to basically have the combos ingrained inside you, so you're not dropping them. I haven't skipped your question, Antonio. Just answering Snoozy at the moment. Let me call my lawyer, aka James Charles. So yeah, regarding combos, I would recommend that. If you find 10 times too many times, maybe drop it down to 5. Another thing is to go through towers, just using certain combos, and get them drilled into muscle memory, because that's what all it really is. It's basically just muscle memory. And once you get them down, it'll be a lot better. Ban everyone including me, don't let us graduate except you. Well, in terms, yes, of people graduating, this is the final lesson of the dojo, of the syllabus. So yeah, for everyone that's taking part, yes, you have all graduated from the dojo class. So I say congratulations to you all. As for grades, would I give grades now, or would I don't know if it'd be better to maybe host like a future COF or something. Because I remember how the last one went, so maybe I should hold another one to see how people have improved, and then I can give you an actual grade. Gab is the embodiment of I'm child anyway, sober, straight. You know what, every time I see that word, I always just think of the country Chile. Might be just because I'm a major like football fan, so that's the way it is. Where do you all want to celebrate? But anyway, for those watching on YouTube, that's going to be the end of the lesson. Thank everyone for tuning in. I'm going to do a bonus lesson very soon. It'll be before ultimate drops next week. And the bonus lesson is going to be on option selects. Now, this is a term you might have never heard of. It might be a term that you have heard of, but you have no idea what it means, or it might be something that you already know that exists, but you don't know how to do them. I'm basically just going to run through the concept of option selects. It's a very advanced technique. You don't need to know it, but if you do, it can make life a lot more easier. So, I will let you know when that bonus lesson occurs, but in terms of Dojo, thank you everyone for taking part. I hope these lessons help. By all means, if there are some things that you still have issues with, feel free to message me and I'll do my best to get back to you. But as for that, thanks again. Take care all and peace.